Hello again, it's John Wild here to give you another bathtub toy review. And this time we're going to be looking at the Gilligan's Island floating playset that was produced by Playskool Toys in 1977. Gilligan's Island is a rerun legend, originally produced and airing on CBS from 1964 to 1967. The show lives on in syndication even up to today. Interestingly, it wasn't until 1977 that any children's toys were produced in conjunction with this legendary TV show. But when one was produced, it was very memorable for Gen Xers. The Gilligan's Island floating bathtub toy. After going into syndication, Gilligan's Island became a very popular rerun, and attempts to reunite the cast began as early as 1971. But it wouldn't be until 1974 that some of the cast reunited for the New Adventures of Gilligan's Island, produced by Filmation. The cartoon ran on ABC TV on Saturdays from 1974 to 1977, or 24 episodes, similar to the live-action show, with the exception of Ginger and Marianne were voiced by a different actress. The show's animation isn't all that great, but like future Filmation projects, had a moral lesson to give children watching the show. This show was followed by Rescue from Gilligan's Island in 1978. Now, let's get a look at this neat bathtub toy. This set came with a colorful box that displays all the features of the toy. Let's get a good look at this box. Here's a look at the front of the box. Unfortunately, my box is kind of taped up with masking tape, and I don't really want to mess with it, so we'll just make do with this. Here's a look at the side of the box. And here's a good look at the back of the box. The bottom of the box gives some information about the toy. The top of this box shows off some more pictures of kids interacting with the toy. Included with this toy is the floating island, a hut with detachable roof, a palm tree with detachable palms, an SS Minnow boat, a raft with an attached flag and anchor, Marianne, Skipper, and Gilligan, plus a treasure chest, which unfortunately I don't have. Let's get a look at each of these parts individually. So let's get a look at the floating island, and yes, it does float. The playset has 4 different colors. It has a darker green, it has a lighter green, it has a gray, and it also has a brown. There are 3 spots on this playset that have these little footprints on them, and that's the spot where you're supposed to put your figure at. When we turn it around and look at the sides, we can see that there's a staircase on this side of the playset and a staircase on this side of the playset. There's moorings on either side of the playset where you could either anchor the SS Minnow or the raft. There's also a little dock over on this side. There's some plant detail coming down this side. There's a sculpted in waterfall with a starfish. There's a rocky coastline on this side and this side. Overall, this has a lot of different areas that you can interact with your figures. At the top of this set is a hut where the cast of Gilligan's Island can hide out. The hut piece was cast in two different plastics, as in an orange and in a yellow, and the top was removable. So the hut could also be used as a cup for inside of the bathtub. Moving on, we look at the palm tree, cast in green and brown plastic. Again, it has a hideout for the figures. The top of the palm tree could come off. Also sculpted on the back of it is Gilligan loves bananas. The palm tree also had a neat feature. When filled with water, it had a strainer that allowed the water to come out the top. Next up is the SS Minnow, cast in orange plastic. The minnow has a spot on the back where you can attach the anchor to tow the raft. It also has two spots on the inside where you could fit Gilligan and Skipper, and it also has an instrument panel. Here's a look at Skipper and Gilligan riding in the SS Minnow. Getting a look at the SS Minnow here, we can see it does float on water. The raft and the rope are up next. The raft is cast in a bright orange plastic with neat detail. The raft also floated on water. Here's a good look at the raft and the spot where you can place your figure on it. The flag has the Playskool logo on it. The tow rope could either be attached to the front of the raft or to the front of the SS Minnow. Lastly, and sadly missing from my set, is the treasure chest. The treasure chest had a spot where you could hook the anchor up to it to tow it behind either the SS Minnow or the raft. Oh, I forgot about the figures. Let's look at them. And here's the Skipper. He looks a lot like the animated Skipper, not so much like the television Skipper. Here's Mary Ann, and she looks a lot like both the television and the cartoon Mary Ann. Finally, we have Gilligan, and Gilligan looks like the animated Gilligan. I guess he kind of looks like the regular TV Gilligan also. And finally, here's a look at all three figures together. I remember having this set when I was a kid, but like most bath toys, it got tossed after a while. I was really lucky to find a replacement with the box. So why didn't Gilligan's Island get a toy line previous to 1977? It may have been licensing costs, or maybe appeal, but when they did finally get around to making one, it sure was memorable. Well, there you have it. Another episode of Bathtub Toys with John Wild. Did you have the floating Gilligan's Island playset as a kid? Leave a comment. I would like to thank you for watching my video. Please like, share, and subscribe to catch my latest uploads. And until next time...
Just sit right back and you'll hear a tale of a fateful trip that started from this tropic port aboard this tiny ship.